Fans, we're getting ready for this afternoon's game, and right now a little special ceremony will be coming up in a moment. Right now, the captains of both teams, Horseheads and Union Endicott, meeting with the officials. We'll have that ceremonial coin flip to determine who gets the ball or who gets to defend their choice as far as the end of the field is concerned. And we have some former coaches and players from Horseheads history in football, and they have gathered at the middle of the field as well. And we get the indication that Horseheads has won the coin toss, but they have deferred. And whether he's aware of it or not, George Gilbert is going to be singled out as he announced his retirement from the classroom. He has not announced, at least at this point, his retirement as an active coach, and we want to join the ceremonies that will take a moment. Mark Romanski is the public address announcer, and we're going to go to Mark right now for the festivities to honor Gilbert. And we're just waiting for the indication from the officials, and then we will move forward. But
Ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
I'd like to introduce Andy Malinowski, the sports voice from WETM and Horseheads graduate.
Thank you so much to all of our Horseheads friends and our friends from Endicott. Today we honor one of Horseheads' finest sons, not just in football, but in life, George Gilbert. Today, October 22nd, 2016, marks the final home game for Coach Gilbert on the sidelines of Horseheads Blue Raider football. On the field, George was one of the most dominant offensive linemen to ever play the game. After graduating from Horseheads in 1977, George became a standout for the University of Tulsa and the Golden Hurricane. A defensive lineman's worst nightmare, Gilbert became an All-Missouri Valley Conference pick at Tulsa in 1981. That same year, Gilbert won the Rex Martin Memorial Trophy, an honor handed out to the top senior college football player in the entire state of Oklahoma. Gilbert then went on to try out for the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles before landing in the USFL for the Philadelphia Stars, where he played 3 seasons and won 2 world championships in his time, making him the most decorated Horseheads football player in professional football. Since the late 1980s, Coach Gilbert has served as defensive coordinator for the Blue Raiders. He was a dominant fixture for 3 consecutive Section 4 Class AA championship teams from 1996 to 1998. And he helped produce several college players, coaches, and mentors. Gilbert has also served as a physical education teacher at Horseheads High School, molding students to be future leaders in their lives. George is a proud husband to his wife, Margie, has a son, Chris, and daughter, Julia. In the end, George is the epitome of what happens when you work hard and battle for a dream. He is a true example of what Horseheads football is all about: heart, desire, and the undying will to succeed. It's clear, once a Blue Raider, always a Blue Raider. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and give a well-deserved round of applause for our very own and beloved Horseheads, George Gilbert. At this time, I'd like to introduce Horseheads Superintendent, Dr. Tom Douglas.
Thank you, Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, please, another round of applause for the outstanding seniors of Horseheads Central Schools. And also, as we begin today's game, please remember that every day makes a difference, and we look to you and these seniors and these players to have the utmost of sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the track where the brass and percussion section of the Horseheads Central School District Marching Blue Raiders will perform the national anthem.
This is the high school football game of the week on RLM Sport. Here is the voice of Twin Tiers Sports, Bob Michaels.
Well, fans, thanks for joining us this afternoon on RLM Sports, 1410 WELM and Big Fox TV WYDC. With me today, Rand Seacrest, as always, our analyst, Greg Speroni, the producer and videographer for Big Fox TV. And most important, we have you with us as we prepare for high school football on a Saturday. It's the closing game of the regular season for both Horseheads and Union Endicott, and both of these teams will be heading off to postseason play next weekend, but the focus obviously is on today. Tigers come to town, and they adorn the white jerseys with orange numbers, orange helmets, black pants striped in orange. Raiders have the Raider blue tops with white numbers and letters, blue helmets, white pants. Ball has been teed up, as we told you just a few moments ago. The Raiders won the toss, but have deferred. And so with that being said, Rance, here's a team bound for playoff, and they start things off with an onside kick.
Sorry, Bob.
Are you with me?
Yep. Looks like that's going to be recovered at about the 40, just shy of the 40-yard line. So Union Endicott will start at their own 39-yard line.
All right, so we have things all set for the gentleman from Endicott, New York. Devin Hogan is their QB. You'll almost think that it was Halloween time with the orange and black that they have sported seemingly forever. And just a little bit slow getting started here. Need a football. What do you think about that? So they bring the football in, set it up at the 38-yard line, and the full house backfield, power I formation for the Tigers, and Hogan will hand off immediately, and that's a straight up the middle call. And I think back as we look at the carry by Kevin Every of something Tommy Bolino, their head coach, told us in the pregame show. We love to play power football.
Yeah, they're going to try to line it up and take it right at the Horseheads Raiders today. The Raiders will line up in their 3-3 defense.
All right, second down. They picked up 4 yards on that carry. Hogan once again, a running play near side with a sweep, and it is a slippery track out there as the ball carried by Steele Pierce.
Taken down by Clay Wood, senior Clay Wood. 3rd and 6.
What a lengthy pregame ceremonies they had here at Horseheads High School with the football players as well as the cheerleaders and band members all being acknowledged, and of course some of the former players and coaches here at Horseheads and retiring defensive coordinator George Gilbert. Once again, another running play, and the Raiders defense swarming as they make quick work, taking down Kevin Every. So they're going to lose some yardage. And the ball marked at the 42-yard line. It brings up 4th down almost immediately.
Yeah, the strong side linebacker, Bobby Patchen, in on that play. Makes the play in the backfield for a loss, and the Raiders defensively step up for Coach Gilbert, who was just honored.
All right, so we're very early in this contest. Coming tight to the line near side will be Elo Amada. The snap back, and we've got a flag and possibility, a delay of game?
Well, it looked like the right tackle might have moved, so we have an illegal procedure on UE.
So that's going to take it back a few additional yards, 5 yards to be precise, and so their kicker will have to backpedal just a little bit further. Looks like positioning himself on the 25-yard line. Raiders have just one deep man. That's Noah Bosket. Bosket back right around the 28-yard line. So waiting on the snap for the punt. And a lengthy time at this point. There's the snap and the kick. And Bosket will field it at the 32. Sidesteps one man and is able to make his way close to the 40-yard line. So Dominic Fenton's kick retrieved right around the 32 and an advance of about 4 yards. So the Raiders will have a first down. They'll begin at their own 38-yard line under the direction of Jack Chalk.
Quarterback today for the Blue Raiders, number 4, Jack Chalk.
So the junior QB with the wind at his back at the present time. Let's see if he wants to go up top or will they basically keep it simple. Chalk's going to keep the football, races middle of the field, bumped once a second time, but he's got a first down at midfield.
By Jack Chalk. First down,
So Chalk taking advantage of some great blocking by his tackles and guards, running through the front door. And I suspect that maybe Huey was expecting somebody else to carry the ball.
Well, certainly they were they faked the jet sweep that time to Brian Smith, and then Jack Chalk takes it up the middle.
All right, once again, Bosket lines up to the right. We have a man in motion once more. They give it to Bosket, and he stumbles ahead to about the 48-yard line. You know, we talk with coaches, and yesterday was certainly no exception. Kelly Gordon of Ithaca, George Bacalus of Corning, they've all sustained injuries to key people. But Corning was able to play their way to a 12-0 victory last night. Talking about injuries, same thing applied to Horseheads as well as UE. Chalk in the gun, and a running play, and the handoff to Trevor Felinchek. Felinchek along the far sideline looking for that first down marker, and I think he got it as he hit the 40 and picked up a couple extra yards. So at the 38-yard line, Horseheads will keep this drive alive. Bosket comes back into the game. Leaving the contest will be Clay Wood. And the Raiders moving straight ahead.
Yeah, that time they go with the jet sweep to Felinchek. They did not give it to Brian Smith. He is out there at that position because Bosket is in the backfield with Chalk.
All right, Felinchek in motion. The give to Bosket. Bosket wheels his way through the middle of the field to the 30. And that's about an 8-yard gain for Bosket. And just a little bit short of a first down. So it'll bring up 2nd and 2. Well, we're scoreless at the present time. Just getting underway. Horseheads has the first offensive drive that began right around their own 32-yard line. They are now currently at the 28-yard line, the 30-yard line of Union Endicott. They will send Andrew Clark wide to the left side, a man in the slot to the left. Shotgun formation. And now this time, after using him as a decoy, running with the ball down the near sideline, leaping over a defender, ball carrier Brian Smith, and he's got a first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the, I believe it's the 8-yard line.
Tackle made by Jack Thomas.
So a 20-yard gain for Brian Smith as they give him the ball in the jet sweep. As we mentioned, they move Bosket into the fullback position and trying to do something a little differently here offensively to get ready for the playoffs.
All right, so Jack Chalk has the team set at the line of scrimmage. It's the 9-yard line. Calls for the ball. And again to Bosket. And Bosket is met at the line of scrimmage. And there is really no place for him to go. Tackled by Caleb Naylor.
Baruto. 2nd and goal.
So it looks like the Raiders are going to use Bosket and Clay Wood to run plays today at the fullback position as Jesse Wintermute's a little nicked up, according to Coach Hillman.
All right, 7:30 to play in the first quarter. Smith going wide left side. In the backfield now is Clay Wood. Felinchek in motion. And it's Chalk running straight through the hole. And he's inside close to the goal line, about the 3-yard line.
About 6 yards for Chalk on that carry. Nice job by the front line of the Raiders opening up that hole against the Union Endicott for defense. So.
All right, so Bosket back in the game now.
Hold on, say, sweetie, hold on.
Chalk is going to be sandwiched at the 5-yard line. So a loss on the carry, and it brings up 4th down for the Raiders.
Well, that snap was a little bit to his right. He had difficulty handling it, so Chalk just getting the ball quickly, but lost a yard. Looks like going to be a tough position here from the just outside the 5-yard line. The wind is at their back. It appears as though they're going to go for it, though, and not go for the field goal opportunity.
Horseheads going from left to right here at Horseheads High School. They are headed towards the scoreboard at the field.
It's do or die time now as Chalk runs the ball, and he's got the score. Touchdown, Jack Chalk racing in from the 6-yard line, and the Raiders are on the board.
So a great trap play there to get Chalk into the end zone. I've got that as a 10-play drive that covers 62 yards and takes nearly 5 minutes off the clock. The Raiders strike first, and they will line it up for the PAT attempt.
That's good. So the Raiders on the extra point try are able to punch it through with a kick, and it is now a 7-0 lead in favor of the Horseheads Blue Raiders. So Rance, an opportunity to talk about what we've seen in the early minutes of this contest, but more importantly, eating up the clock.
Oh, yeah, that was a great first possession for Horseheads. As Coach Hillman told us, he's got some guys nicked up, as most teams do here this time of year. We saw Corning last night at Ithaca in their tune-up for the playoffs, defeating Ithaca, running some different offensive sets that they have not run in recent weeks. And here, Coach Hillman now trying to get a little more speed in the backfield by putting Noah Bosket at what they call their fullback position. Some would call it a tail in the shotgun situation, but Bosket's in there with Clay Wood, who's also very quick, and they're going to put Brian Smith out at the wingback position. And Smith, 1 carry for 20 yards, so contributing already.
All right, so getting ready, Andrew Clark will kick the football. We have just 2 men deep, actually, one at the 25, another at the 15. Onside kick, and it is snared by Felinchek. And the Raiders take over the ball. Outstanding. So on a day they honor George Gilbert, special teams come through to recover an onside kick, and it will put Jack Chalk and his O team back on the field.
Onside kick recovered by the Blue Raiders.
So great job by Felinchek to get there quickly. Very fast runner, as we've seen all season long, as we saw him on that jet sweep earlier for the 10-yard gain, and he's the one who's able to get that onside kick for the Raiders.
In a Rancy absence of rain this afternoon might be an advantage, because this is a turf field, or not a natural or artificial surface, but an actual natural turf. And with the games that have been played here and other sports, the surface is really taking a beating.
UE coaches are not happy. They're still arguing on the sideline where that ball should be spotted. It should be where he first got possession. You cannot advance an onside kick.
All right, Chalk will keep the football in an ankle tackle, and there will be no gain there. Might have lost a yard. So the ball will rest at the 45-yard line of Union Endicott, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
So what great field position for the Raiders here. We'll see what they can do with it. Obviously very successful on their first possession.
All right, so we have receivers wide to the left, a single person in Felinchek. He's in motion, and they give the ball to Felinchek. Trevor hit once, a second time. He did pick up about 3 yards and gets bowled over. And the tackle made by Jaden Whittingham.
Derek Billingsley on the stop. 3rd and 8.
So a big 3rd down here for the Raiders, but more importantly for the UE Tigers. Certainly a situation where they need to make sure that they can get another opportunity on offense. They allowed Horseheads a 10-play drive to start this game offensively, and they need a stop right here.
Raiders fired up. And a guy who seems to be banged up down there but stays in the action, Bobby Patchen, as a wide out near side. 2 men in the slot near side. Chalk goes up. He's got a man open in Clark, and it was just a little bit overthrown. Clark had some pressure out there. Stride for stride, good coverage by Union Endicott, but it'll bring up 4th down and time to kick the ball away.
Well, with that route, Chalk wants to get a little air under the ball. He did get that up there in the air nicely, but unfortunately for him, the wind is at his back, and that wind certainly carried it out of reach of Andrew Clark.
Michael Riggin was on coverage there for Union Endicott on that pass. Now you got Clark, who's going to boot it away, and straight down the middle of the field, continuing to roll, will die at the 10-yard line. Good placement on the punt by Andrew Clark. And once again, Devin Hogan and the Union Endicott offense coming back on the field. We have 4:03 to go in the first. It's a 7-0 lead for the Horseheads Blue Raiders. Jack Chalk, his 6-yard run. The extra point attempt by Clark was good. And here we go, 7-zip. Hogan and company reinforce the black and orange out there on the field. And now the Raiders defense digging in.
A nice little pooch punt there by Andrew Clark, and Patchen certainly hurting a little bit on the sidelines.
The snap, Hogan hands off first man in the backfield. And it's going to take about 4 or 5 Raider defenders to bring down the ball carrier.
2 yards on the run. Taken down by a wall of Horseheads tacklers.
Like that wall of tacklers.
Well, the defensive line did a nice job there, standing up Every. And the Tigers trying to figure out what they can do. Every's carried it 3 times, and Steele Pierce once. We'll see if they keep it on the ground or go to the air.
Well, Kevin in the backfield right now. Kevin Every. And here's again, it's a running play. Right side, stumbling through past the tackles is Caleb Naylor.
4-yard run by Caleb Naylor.
Caleb just across the 15-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
Well, fans, we're in plenty of action, plenty of time here at Horseheads High School. So if you're within the sound of our voice, come on out, check out the action. And it is another handoff. Racing with the ball will be Kevin Every Jr. Kevin,
his first by Pete Whitson,
a senior halfback, also plays linebacker. They do get the first down, Union Endicott, as Every was able to garner about the 4 yards that they needed. The ball resting now at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for UE. This drive began at their own 10 after a Horseheads punt. Motion action, Kevin Hogan keeping the football. And, you could see where he just kind of cringed a little bit, anticipating the tackle coming about. And right there to make the stop would be Bobby Patchen. Talk about him being banged up, but he gives you the idea that he doesn't feel the pain.
Yeah, he's back on the field, and as soon as he makes a play. I would rest him on offense. If they're going to rest him today, rest him on offense. Let him play linebacker.
All right, there's a give. Kevin Every once again. And Caleb Naylor carries the football to the 30-yard line. And that'll be a 3rd down and about 2 for the Union Endicott Tigers. They've been playing most of this first quarter in their own territory.
Yeah, they've been at their end of the field, but their defense did do a nice job after Horseheads was able to get the onside kick. Their defense stood up. Now their offense needs to come through on 3rd down for a 2nd time here.
All right, working out of the shotgun formation. Quarterback Devin Hogan. And we've got a flag on the play. Ball was handed off to Every. But the officials are right there to spot it, and so we'll have the infraction assessed.
Well,
down, but there is a flag down.
I think the Horseheads, Coach Hillman may decline this one, as it'll make it a 4th down situation.
Illegal procedure against the Tigers.
And you're right. On the sideline. Raiders have indicated that they do not want the penalty.
Penalty is declined by Horseheads. They'll make it 4th and 3.
So Coach Bellino certainly deep in his own end. As you mentioned, Bob, they've been at their end of the field the entire half, so you would assume they would put their punting unit in, but they are not.
A little over a minute to play in the first quarter. Move it now back to the slot, and let's see, will the Raiders move? No, running play. As Naylor once more, and Naylor is not going to get it, and Bosket in on the tackle for the Horseheads Raiders to deny Caleb Naylor that first down opportunity, and now UE will have to punt the football away. Excuse me, they will take over on downs. Wow.
Noah Bosket came from his safety position and met him at the line. They're having a discussion. Looks like, I'm sure the UE coaching staff is going to ask for a measurement. We'll see if the officials are going to grant one. From our angle, it certainly looks like Bosket stopped him short.
Well, UE kids are backpedaling here for a moment as the chains will be moved to the middle of the field, or rather out to the field for the examination, and they didn't get it. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, Rance, we look at it from this angle now, and it's probably about, 2 inches short. Raiders will take over. What a break for Horseheads. They lead 7-0. And Tommy Bellino, the Tioga Downs gambler, I guess, and he came up short there, so.
Yeah, tremendous gamble there by Coach Bellino. They're going to give the ball up to the Raiders at the 32-yard line on their end of the field.
Wow. All right, 3 receivers to the near side. Felinchek in the slot closest to us. And Chuck's going to go up top quickly to Clark, and it's caught. First down, Raiders near the 20-yard line.
So about a 13-yarder there to Andrew Clark. So Chalk, 1 for 2, and Andrew Clark being his intended target both times.
Clark looked like maybe he might have had his bell rung, if only briefly. He was bending over there for a minute. And we have an official timeout down on the field. All right, well, apparently the ball wasn't placed exactly where it should be, so the Raiders pick up a couple more inches on the placement. Here we go once again, Jack Chalk. And Smith with the ball, sweeps to the near side. He's got an outside lane, and just across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Brian Smith once again has been used as a decoy, but more importantly as the ball carrier, as he and Bosket have traded duties, so to speak. And you brought up the name Jesse Wintermute. What's the status?
Apparently Jesse's a little dinged up too, so they've got him playing just linebacker and not playing both ways on the fullback position offensively.
All right, here we go again. 2nd down and 3. Felinchek in motion, a keeper by Chalk. He races through the hole, first down, as he hits the line and brought down inside the 10-yard line. First down, Raiders.
6-yard run by Jack Chalk.
So that is 6 first downs for the Horseheads Blue Raiders. Chalk already with 20 yards on 5 carries.
12 seconds remaining in the first quarter here at Horseheads High School.
First and goal.
Bob Michaels, Rance Seacrest, Greg Speroni from Big Fox TV. Say hello, Greg. And, oh! I have to tell you, coming over from a wide receiver position, and that one for Bobby Patchen, and he juggled it in the end zone, but then dropped the ball, and time has run out after the first 12-minute session, but the Raiders will maintain the ball. They have a 7-0 lead, and we'll be back with more football action in Horseheads.